Hi, I'm Addy, and I just chugged half a cup of coffee, and, I wanted to take you down this rabbit hole I found. It's not a very deep rabbit hole. You can't fit shit in there. Well, all there is shit, I guess. It's kind of full at the moment. So, about a year ago, I found this article, called Debunking the Bimodal Sex Spectrum Graph. It is on the website, ministryoftruth.me.uk. This is from March 23rd, 2021. It's just kind of bad. Sex is a spectrum. It is bimodal. Their arguments against it are that there's not a lot of intersex people and not enough to consider it bimodal, and that's just not how bimodality works. That's not how binaries work. Literally, if you have a million zeros, a million ones, and you get a 0.5, it's not binary anymore. That's not how binaries work. It's not up to anyone except the person to decide whether they want to identify with the intersex term or not. This article is just really bad. Basically, they either say, yeah, there's not enough intersex people, and then when they do acknowledge, yeah, intersex people exist, they say, but they're monsters that shouldn't count anyways. And it's really gross. A lot of the standard anti-intersex arguments, which, it's just bad. I don't have the credentials to talk about this. I'm not intersex. I don't know much about intersexuality personally, but that's also not the point of today's video. Their website is very, very bad. When I say bad, I mean actual garbage. So each of their buttons work. I mean, the home takes you to their home, and not secure. That's very and then all the tabs, they work fine. They give me, let's what? Anyways, and they have an about me, or an about the website, which I don't think is for this website. Let me just read their about.
Lorem ipsum dolor sid amet, Addy pisking consequat Addy pisking sid amet.
The get in touch part says,
Lorem ipsum dolor
shows their address, which I don't even know if is real. Their email, which is just, I don't think is in like a real email. And their phone number is just 123456789 I don't know how UK numbers work, but I'm pretty sure that's not their number. All of their buttons for their media, I'll show you exactly what each one does in order. Go to their Facebook. Their I don't actually know what website that is. Indeed, LinkedIn, I don't know. YouTube. Yeah, it just copies your page you started on and copies it to another tab, which is such good design. They have had this website since 2005, May 2005, or at least have articles from May 2005, which is already insane by itself. They haven't added anything since June 2021, which their latest one is about gender identity, so I'm sure you can see how that goes without having to read it. They didn't have anything on here from 2015 to 2020, which you'll see why, because I'm pretty sure the things that I found are related. There's a lot of things I feel like are related. You can log into the website. Oh, it just okay. So the article I was reading before, debunking the bimodal sex spectrum graph. This terrible article. It has a couple comments. Gino says, really enjoyed reading this. Thank you. Marcella says, it is my understanding from 10 years of being the mentor and U.S. federally approved caregiver for a young XXY man that the inclusion of those with more or less than two sex chromosomes as being intersex is up for debate. Most XXYs I met pre-2014 were trying to decide if they were intersex or not after hearing presentations from intersex groups. Yada yada yada. Basically, they're just saying that, where did this graph come from? And, I also don't like how they just word it and, like, don't call people XXYs. That's just, I don't know, it feels really, really gross. And again, I believe that the person should have the decision themselves to identify as intersex if they want. It's up to them. It's not up to fucking Marcella. And then the third comment on here, who I didn't recognize when I first found this article over a year ago, is of course Maya Forstater. She says, "Yes, what's that x-axis all about?" And then links her Twitter. If you don't know who Maya is, you are very lucky. She is a terrible human being, very anti-trans. She's transphobic, very transphobic. I'm not even gonna go through her Twitter because it's just egregious. She's best friends with fucking J.K. Rowling. I don't remember how I found it. I believe I just looked up because these links don't work. I found their Twitter, which I believe is theirs, but I don't have a lot of proof. I found this a year ago as well, and I believe it's them because not only are they not an actual government ministry, but this was also made in 2015, which I don't believe there's any articles about Jeremy Corbyn here, but they fucking hate him. Which, the only things I can tell from here is that he is a Osama bin Laden sympathizer. He eats children, I guess. I don't know. It's really weird and gross. Hello, Twitter. Thank you, U.S. Ministry of Truth. They also don't have a lot of followers, which is probably a good thing. They were only here for a day. I really don't know if this is satire or not even satire, but like I assume it's satire in a way at least, but it's propaganda. It's really weird and gross. And I don't know much about Jeremy Corbyn. I don't live in the UK, but all I know about him is that he's a leftist, he's a socialist, and the only things I've seen are that he has some controversies about being possibly anti-Semitic. I don't know. I don't know a lot about him. I don't really care. Even if he is anti-Semitic, which again I wouldn't support him, if he is or was. I don't know. This is just weird and gross. It's really funny though. Like it is, it is hilarious how like terrible this is. And earlier, I found they also have if this is actually the Twitter of this website, which again, this doesn't work. And they also have an Instagram, which I know is connected to the Twitter because it's the same logo. It's also the UK Ministry of Truth. They also don't have a lot of followers, but they have more because they've posted more. And I can't really scroll too much because I'm not logged in, and I don't really care to. It's mostly a lot of anti-vax stuff, and like COVID denial BS. And it links back to the I assume the UK's government website. I don't know. It's all really wonky. It's hilarious how weird and just bad this is. Like when I tell you I was dying the entire time I discovered this. It was like I didn't know what I was getting into. I saw this page and was like, what if I make a video debunking this because it's so bad? Which I don't really need to do. It's probably not even like a really good idea. It's like I don't need to debunk this. This is just bad science. And I don't care. But when I found everything else, when I found their Twitter, and I saw this down here, it was so funny. And then I remembered it a couple weeks ago. Looked back into it because I wanted to remember what I was getting into, what I got into. And I saw Maya was here, and that was the not even the icing. She was like the cherry on top of the icing. I mean, it's not a very good cake, and it's also in the rabbit hole. Very dirty, very gross cake. I don't know if you can consider it cake. Probably not edible. You'll probably get sick and die. I don't know. That's that's what I found. I've never seen anyone talk about this, which is probably a good thing. Um, but I'm also not surprised that no one's talked about it because I don't even know how I found this, but I'm so glad I did, and I'm so glad I could share it with you guys. I don't know what else to say. Either way, I love you. Goodbye.